Have you ever watched someone risk everything to save people who hated them? At one of the most luxurious weddings in America, guests gasped as a humble maid rushed toward the towering wedding cake and shouted, "Stop! Don't eat it!" Before anyone could react, she pushed the billionaire's fiancé away from the cake, sending frosting everywhere. The ballroom fell silent. Security grabbed the maid. The groom looked furious, and every guest believed she had ruined the happiest day of their lives. But only seconds later, the shocking truth changed everything. Before we begin, welcome to Kindness Echoes. If you love emotional stories about courage, compassion, and the power of kindness, please subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your support helps us share more inspiring stories. Ethan Carter was one of the youngest billionaires in New York. Despite his wealth, he never forgot his humble beginnings, which was why he always treated the hotel staff with respect. His beautiful fiancée, Vanessa, seemed perfect in every way. She was elegant, charming, and adored by everyone, except one person, Grace, a quiet maid who had worked at the luxury hotel for nearly 15 years, noticed things others ignored. While everyone praised Vanessa's smile, Grace often saw the way she secretly insulted waiters, mocked cleaners, and treated employees as if they were invisible. Grace never judged people quickly, but she believed kindness revealed a person's true character. On the morning of the wedding, Grace was helping decorate the grand ballroom when she walked past the kitchen. She noticed a man wearing a catering uniform she had never seen before, carefully sprinkling something onto the wedding cake before quickly walking away. Something felt terribly wrong. Grace immediately checked the staff schedule and realized the man wasn't part of the catering team. Her heart raced. She quietly told the head chef, but he dismissed her concerns, saying she was imagining things because of the stress. Refusing to ignore her instincts, Grace searched the kitchen until she found a small bottle hidden behind a shelf. The label had been scratched off, but the strange powder inside frightened her. She ran to security, but the wedding ceremony had already begun, and they told her they would investigate later. Later might be too late. As the ceremony ended, hundreds of guests gathered around the enormous cake. Ethan smiled as he held Vanessa's hand. Cameras flashed while everyone counted down for the first slice. Grace realized there wasn't another second to waste. Ignoring the angry voices around her, she ran toward the cake shouting, "Stop! Nobody eat it!" In the confusion, she pulled Vanessa away from the table, causing her face to land in the frosting while the cake shifted and crashed onto the floor. Guests screamed. Ethan stared in disbelief. Security immediately grabbed Grace. Vanessa stood up covered in cake, furious and embarrassed. "She ruined my wedding," Vanessa shouted. "Arrest her." Grace struggled to speak as tears filled her eyes. "Please, don't let anyone eat the cake. I think someone tampered with it." Many guests laughed. Others called her crazy. But Ethan remembered something his late mother always taught him: listen before you judge. Instead of ordering Grace away, he asked security to bring the kitchen manager and the mysterious bottle Grace had found. Within minutes, police officers and emergency responders arrived. The suspicious powder was tested on the spot using a field kit. Everyone watched in complete silence. The officer looked up with a pale face. "This substance is dangerous if consumed," he said. "She's telling the truth." The ballroom froze. People who had mocked Grace moments earlier suddenly couldn't believe what they were hearing. Investigators reviewed the security cameras and found footage of a fake caterer sneaking into the kitchen and tampering with the cake before disappearing through a back exit. The entire room realized Grace's courage had likely saved hundreds of lives. Vanessa slowly walked toward Grace. Her makeup was ruined, and tears rolled down her face. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I was so embarrassed that I never stopped to hear you." Grace gently smiled. "I didn't do it for an apology. I did it because every life in this room matters." Ethan thanked Grace in front of every guest. "Today," he said, "I almost judged the person who saved us all simply because of her uniform. Wealth doesn't make someone valuable. Kindness does." The guests applauded louder than they had all day. Some of the hotel workers cried because, for the first time, they felt truly seen. The wedding was postponed while investigators completed their work, but something even more beautiful happened. Ethan created a foundation that supported hotel workers, cleaners, cooks, and service employees across the country, naming it after Grace. Vanessa changed too. The frightening experience opened her eyes to how she had treated people. She personally apologized to the hotel staff and spent months volunteering with charities, learning that respect is earned through compassion, not status. Grace returned to her simple job the next week, expecting life to go back to normal. Instead, people greeted her with smiles, gratitude, and admiration. Yet she remained the same humble woman she had always been. When reporters asked why she risked everything, Grace answered with a quiet smile. Kindness means protecting people even when they may never understand your actions. Years later, people remembered that incredible wedding not because of the ruined cake or the billionaire's fortune, but because one ordinary maid chose courage over fear and compassion over silence. Her kindness became a reminder that heroes don't always wear expensive suits or stand on grand stages. Sometimes they wear simple uniforms, do unnoticed work, and quietly save lives without expecting anything in return. If this story touched your heart, remember that one act of kindness can change countless lives in ways you'll never imagine. Be the person who speaks up, helps others, and chooses compassion even when it's difficult, because the world will always need more people whose kindness echoes far beyond a single moment.